depict a contrarian view of reality that is much farther removed from
What makes you
reality.
say that? They do the same thing that Fox and Newsmax.
I don't think they do the same thing at all.
They do the same thing. They
didn't
misrepresent
air vaccine
facts.
misinformation, and
They
that was
didn't
one of the most egregious
They
ones.
specifically didn't want to talk about Hunter Biden during the elections because they knew it would make
I think
the Joe
they had
Biden
legitimate
administration.
reasons there to not air the Hunter Biden criticism.
I mean, but it was real. I mean, when you have a
No, I think
person's
that's
ID
the perfect time to talk about
and
it.
an I,
'cause that's
when
a
you
very
have his
concerning
ID,
thing,
his
yeah.
signature, and his all this, and his laptop was
got
left
in
somewhere.
huge trouble for BuzzFeed, especially got in huge trouble from the right wing news media, justifiably, for publishing the Steele dossier, which was like verified only to a certain degree and full of obvious Russian misinformation. Right? They shouldn't have published that. And most of the other news organizations, including CNN, held off for months from publishing that because they didn't think
But
it was responsible. And
you
the New
can't
York
tell
Post
me
went
in this-
and pulled a BuzzFeed in publishing the
You
Hunter Biden
cannot
data
say
without
in this
actually.
instance, this Hunter Biden, there were pictures of him on the computer. I mean, what was there to
Yeah.
refute?
The
Of him with crack pipes in his mouth, him with drugs, like it
the
was
chain of evidence in that laptop case was not. It wasn't good. You couldn't prove that the pictures originated on a laptop or Hunter Biden put it there, or that it was actually Hunter Biden's laptop. It could have
I mean,
been
they,
something
no, they,
that
they
was
did. They
altered
came out
by
and they
Russia.
literally came out and they showed that essentially. Do you know the story about how they found his laptop?
Yeah.
So yeah, he was at a. For those
It
of you
was
that
a
don't
guy
know,
that had political motives, and
no, it is not.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is,
he took
made
it to a
look,
repair shop.
Exactly. He took it
They-
to a repair shop.
ahead.
He left his laptop
Yeah.
there, and he signed a contract that said after X amount of days of you not coming to pick up, not responding to calls, texts, whatever, we can basically take your laptop for essentially. Again, every place has this. Every store you go to, if you leave something there and then you eventually just never pick it up, yeah, they're gonna sell it, get rid of it, throw it away, right?
There was all sorts of questions that they should have aired when they had that original article that questioned that narrative of the store owners, and they couldn't show like a good, I think it's called chain of evidence, in that the laptop was not always under someone's watchful eye. There was a weird thing where he was like taking it with him places, and there was involvement with other like Republican officials trying to get the laptop to New York Post. It was just weird. Now there's definitely hanky panky involving Hunter Biden. Like it's all very distasteful and probably a little bit illegal. Pales in comparison to the Trump family's financial doings, by the way.
I mean, I'm sure, but I mean,
They
it's
should
Trump.
have approached it with more nuance, and that nuance is what the New York Times has used when they've covered the Hunter Biden story. They haven't put it
But I
front
mean,
page, but
when
like
you,
there's a whole bunch of
that's what I'm
stuff
saying
happening.
is when you look at it, it kind of
Most of the like good scoops on that have been from New York Times, Washington Post.
okay. But I'm just saying, if you look at it from like other people's points of views, specifically the right, it's like, why did you not talk about this during the election? And again, you're saying, well, the chain of this and this and that and whatever. But at the end of the day, to me, as an independent, it just looks at, we can't
It
make
absolutely was talked about
Even
during
if
the
they
election, though,
couldn't-
right?
even-
Like
are you
they
from the
talked
right.
about it and
I'm
then said
saying
it
from-
wasn't talked about.
I'm saying
It's
I'm saying
ridiculous.
from the right, it was talked about. The left, CNN, ABC, CBS did not
And
want
they
to talk
absolutely
about
did talk about it. They just didn't think it was that big of a deal compared to other things that were happening, which was
it. So you
true.
don't think that it was a big deal in the sense of the
I
Joe
think it
Biden, the
definitely
Biden
showed that
families.
Hunter Biden was financially corrupt and had some bad business dealings. I don't think it showed that Biden himself was involved, or that it was continuing, or that he was actually profiting from a relationship with Biden. He was just profiting from the impression of a relationship with Joe Biden.
Wasn't
I don't
there
know.
something about them
There-
sharing a phone number? At some
Yeah,
point?
there's text messages that I think recently came out about that.
Yeah, there was communication between them and whatnot, but it's like it's not clear. It's very vague.
But look,
and it's the political reporting on it has been motivated by the sense that there's a conspiracy to suppress it, which is a bad prior.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Bad
all I gotta
approach.
say is we'll talk about
okay.
we'll talk about the Hunter Biden
We could
Hunter Biden stuff and
that
more, but
would probably be its own episode. Same with January 6th.
I mean,
I'd
yeah,
have to do a lot more research on it. 'Cause,
yeah. I mean, there's
there's a
still
lot of
stuff coming
details
out
there.
too with the Hunter Biden
I just wish that
Biden
they
situation.
had put that same amount of effort as well into, investigating the Trump family, because there are a lot of great reports also by the New York Times on their taxes and finances and whatnot that are not discussed among the right wing media as well.
Well, yeah,
At
I mean,
all.
yes,
They've
there's
suppressed the information totally.
there are definitely biases on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, again,